Hey everyone, welcome to the match review of Man City vs Newcastle United. We win 1-0. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'd like to say thank you quickly to the support from last stream, really nice, and we gained a couple of subscribers since then, so really nice to see that we're growing a little bit by bit. If you've got any tips and comments you'd like to leave in the comments, then please do, because we will reply. I always reply to them, because I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. But anyway, I'll move straight into it now. By the way, I have rejigged the setup, like in my room, in the little room I'm in. So if that's why it might look a little strange, then that'll be why. Sorry guys, I'm just straightening this out. That's a little too high, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do. Sorry about that. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So you get Edison in goal. I've given him a 6.5, not because he had a bad game or anything, but he basically had nothing to do, didn't he? To be fair, when called upon, he was fine. You know, came out to catch a ball quite late in the game. Saved that Harvey Barnes shot. It was a pretty easy save, but it's a save nonetheless, isn't it? And he played some very nice long balls as well. A couple of them almost worked out. So yeah, good game from Edison. And yeah, he was fine. He didn't have much to do, so not much to worry about there. And I haven't really got much to say otherwise about Edison. You know, he was solid, but I think it's the defence that we should really talk about. And I'll start with Vardy at left back. Premier League debut, well, Premier League start debut, I guess, because he did come on against Burnley. But his Etihad debut, and he was really good, wasn't he? Solid defensively, and the biggest thing I can remember from him was when Rodri made that error and suddenly Newcastle were in a decent, good bit of play. You know, if Vardy was the only defender back, and you know, we waited nicely and then he put in a tackle. He didn't win the tackle, so he won it kind of. He got a touch on the ball, was what I'm trying to say, and it basically bought time for Diaz and Akanji and whoever else could to get back. So that was good from Vardy. Overall, passing play was nice. Defensively he was solid. I think he really did good on Alvarez. Didn't give him a sniff really, did he? So hopefully there's a lot to come from Vardy. Hopefully this is just the beginning of something great. Yeah, but hence why I've given him a 7.5. I don't think he was outrageously good, but he was good, and that's the main thing. You know, he had a very nice game. But I'll jump straight to Ruben Diaz now. Sorry if I sound quite out of breath. It's really hot in this room. I'd open a window if it wasn't for the outside noise. I'll try and open this. I'll just hopefully let a little bit of air in. I've just got a little window there, you see. But it's got the dogs in there, so I usually leave it closed. So if the dogs start playing, I'll close it. Yeah, I'll just close it. Alright, doesn't matter. Anyways, on to Ruben Diaz. It was great to have him back in the squad today. I don't think he had tons to do defensively, but when he was called upon, he was fine. You know, I think it was Anthony Gordon who was coming down the left-hand side at one point, managed to get away from Walker. Can't quite remember the details, but you know, it's him on Diaz, and Diaz just took him out. No worries, you know, so easily. You know, so Anthony was doing his step overs and everything. Ruben Diaz didn't care, just took him straight out. You know, and so really had nothing to worry about through Ruben Diaz's game. Hopefully Hopefully Diaz is fully back now. Hopefully we can keep him for a while without injury. Hopefully we can keep him for the entire season without injury. And but yeah, great to have Ruben Diaz back, and I think it's fairly obvious that when he's in that back four, the others just have so much more confidence. I think he really drives that into the squad, which it's really important. Really, it shows that he's got a good bit of leadership in him. You know, I thought he'd be captain going into this season. To be honest, I was surprised to see that it's Kyle Walker, but I'm not disappointed that it's Kyle Walker. You know, I thought after Fernandinho left, it was going to be Ruben Diaz, but it was Gundogan, and we went on to win a treble with Gundogan. So I don't really mind that it's Kyle Walker, but you know, Ruben Diaz, great game, really solid. Can't remember any errors he made. But yeah, solid game. So, yeah. Akanji, I thought today was a game, you know, I said that he made a couple of mistakes against Sevilla, and I said that he made a couple of mistakes against Burnley. Today I thought he was fine. Can't really remember a mistake that he made. Maybe he made one, I can't remember that, if you want the truth. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't make many or any. So nice performance by Kanji. We got a clean sheet with him. He didn't. He looked pretty confident today, which is nice. And you know, great. It must be good for the players to be back at the Etihad. They've had two tough games away from home. But yeah, it looked like the crowd was up for it yesterday, and so I think that's only benefited our boys. But anyways, yeah, solid game from Akanji. When called upon, he was fine, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll go straight to Kyle Walker now. I think he was really good yesterday, hence why I've given him a 7.5, matching with Vardio. I think he was good defensively, was actually decent going forward as well. Had an involvement in the goal, didn't he? Because, wait, was it? I can't remember. I think he did, but I might be wrong actually. I might be getting my games confused. But either way, it was a good performance by Kyle Walker. Didn't switch the play as much as he usually does, but he did switch it once or twice. Sorry guys, I got hair in my eyes. Yeah, but Kyle Walker, solid game. Defensively, it was great. I don't think Anthony really. Is it Anthony? Anthony Gordon? Anthony Gordon? I'll say Anthony Gordon. Don't think Anthony had. I don't think Anthony Gordon had much of a chance on Kyle Walker today. I thought he was just solid. Yeah, nice performance today from Walker. Hopefully we can see it more, which I've no doubt we will, because he's one of the best right backs in Premier League history for me. He's that good. But yeah, Kyle Walker, great performance. And I do think he was our best defender yesterday. If I had to edge it between him and Vardio, I'd edge it to Walker. But yeah, great work. We'll go into the midfield now, starting with Rodri. Rodri, 7.5. I thought he had a good game. He made that one error, which I mentioned with Vardio, that Vardio had to basically clean up a bit. But other than that, I didn't see anything wrong with his game. Tried his best to create a chance. You know, I remember him lifting a ball over, similar to how he did against. Sorry guys, the sirens going past. Yeah, but similar to against the VA, he lifted one over. I think it was Kyle Walker who tried to keep it in, but he just couldn't really. But either way, he did get it. He did try and get it to someone. But yeah, good performance from him today. Sorry guys, let's have a drink. yeah, hopefully we can see more of that from Rodri, which I no doubt we will. We all know what he can do. He's one of the best in the world in his position, in my opinion, the best in the world. On to Kovacic. I thought he had a good game yesterday, and the reason why I've given him slightly lower than others is because he wasn't as involved as he was against Sevilla. He just wasn't there as much, which isn't his fault. But I thought defensively he was decent. When he came back to help out, and I thought offensively he was decent as well. And I haven't really got much to say about Kovacic. I can't really remember too much of what he did, but 7 yesterday. Good passing. Didn't have many threatening passes like he has done in the past against Sevilla and Burnley, but he was still decent on the ball. I was never in doubt with him. Goes to Jack Grealish. He did try to make things happen yesterday, but just ended up getting fouled a few times, and basically everything he did try to do, whether it was a shot or whether it was a cross, got blocked. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Jack Grealish, decent game. Won us a couple of fouls, which is always nice, what we always like to see from him. Newcastle had a lot of booked players yesterday, and I know Jack Grealish contributed to that. City seems to be coping quite well with the new booking system. I know Julian Alvarez got booked. I'm sorry guys, I was just looking at my phone. Just got a message. There's nothing. But Jack Grealish, decent game. Didn't look too threatening down that left hand side, I won't lie, but Jack Grealish isn't normally about being threatening. He's normally, we know what Jack Grealish does as City fans. We see the things that Jack Grealish wouldn't normally get appreciated for, more than rival fans do. And I don't think other fans really see how much Kyle Walker adds to this team. But on to Julian Alvarez. He was good yesterday. It wasn't his best game ever, but it was a good game, and scored a really nice goal. We all saw it top left corner, beautiful finish. Julian Alvarez really did rifle that one in, didn't he? It was the first big chance we had, and we converted on it, which is good. And I think it was the only real big chance of the game. I remember that late one for Newcastle when the ball was whipped over, but we cleared it handily. But that was the biggest chance of the game with Alvarez, or one of them. And we converted. So, Julian Alvarez, he did his job. He's a natural striker, so we expect him to be able to do stuff like that. And at the moment, he's playing this new kind of role for him. Most of the time when he played for us last season, he was playing that striker role, but at the back end of the season, he went into midfield a little bit more, which he seems to be at the moment. But I'm not going to complain because it seems to be working just fine. But now I'll jump on to Phil Foden, who is man of the match. I don't think he can take anything away from him on that, because he was just really good against. Sorry about that. He was so good yesterday, wasn't he? 7 chances created. He looked threatening from start to finish. He got himself an assist, And I'm sorry, but if he keeps playing like that this season, he's going to be ridiculous, isn't he? And, you know, his midfield is his natural area, you know, which I think is something people might forget sometimes. But midfield is where he plays. You know, in the academy he grew up playing in that area. And then even when he joined the City first team, he'd come on in the midfield. It was only the 21... Aguero's fine. The COVID season that he went onto the left wing and started playing on the wings a bit more. Which, don't get me wrong, he's good there, but he's great in midfield. And why have someone that is good in a position when you can have that player that is good in that position playing a different area where he's just great? And I think today really backs it up, and I think it's going to be, you know, Pep knows. You know, if we can see it, so can Pep. 7 chances created is just ridiculous. And if we can be like that all the time with Phil Foden, then he's going to be a threat this season. But touch wood, he can keep doing that. You know, he's just so good, wasn't he? His dribbling was good too. You know, it wasn't often that he'd get dispossessed, and when he did had the ball taken off him, it'd usually be a foul. So, you know, Phil Foden, great performance. Hence why he's been given an 8.5 out of 10. You know, if he managed to get a goal or another assist, and I'm sorry, the fact that he didn't get another assist is almost like an injustice onto him, because he deserved another assist yesterday, or another goal contribution at the very least. Yeah, he was that good. And if you can keep playing like that and try stick injury free, great, really, really good. But now I'll bounce on to Erling Haaland, who I've given a 7. You could say it's a generous 7, but he had a few chances yesterday, which he did miss, a few of them. Although he did test the keeper on a couple of them. But yeah, Erling Haaland had his chances yesterday, which was set up by Phil, but they just weren't taken, which is a shame, because otherwise if he'd managed to take him, or if someone had managed to take him, then we could have potentially thrashed Newcastle yesterday. You know, that was the nature of our performance. So Erling Haaland, he had a decent game. I thought he was passing decently. He was dropping in a little bit more. Physically, he was decent. So yeah, when it comes to Erling Haaland, if he just finished off chances yesterday, then maybe he could have had an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5 like Phil Foden. Just depends on how many he finished. But you know, Erling Haaland, sure he didn't get any goals, but he didn't have a bad game, not at all. And yeah, so I think a 7 out of 10 just does Haaland a bit of justice. But there's no one to talk about when it comes to the bench. I was tempted to just remove the bench, but I don't know, that didn't feel right, so I kept them. But yeah, no one came on yesterday. I wonder if that means we'll see changes next week. I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were no changes. Because of the depth we've got at the moment. We will be doing a transfer, well, by the time you see this video there will be a transfer news stream already up and streamed. So yeah, I hope you guys watch that, and if you have watched it, then I hope you enjoyed it. There's a good few rumours to talk about in that video. At this moment in time, I haven't spoken about it, so I'm trying to talk to it in the past tense. but it's a little difficult because I haven't spoken about it, but I know some of the things I'm going to be talking about. Interesting rumours, none of them too great, but you know, we're going to have to wait and see. There's still, you know, I know it's the, for me right now it's the 20th of August, so when you're watching this it'll be the 21st of August, or when this video goes live, so that would mean there's only 10 days left of the transfer window, but don't think that's anything to shy away from. It just means that a lot of business is going to get done. I feel like a lot of business is done in the back end of the window. You know, for Fabrizio Romano, he's going to be constantly updating us on everything, isn't he? So, you know, but again, really great performance yesterday. And you know, I said in my match preview, mistakes will be costly. And I was saying, you know, don't make mistakes in this game because Newcastle could punish us. You know, some of the mistakes we made against Burnley and Sevilla, you know, they had one-on-one chances because of it. But there was none of that yesterday. No mistakes like that happened, apart from the one with Rodri. But Vardy cleaned it up with a mixture of help in the second half of it. But yeah. No mistakes were made, none that were costly anyway, like I said, and there's a lot to look forward to in the City side because I went into this Newcastle game quite worried. You know, I was worried that we might not get the win, I was worried that we could draw or something like that, but you know, we dealt with them pretty handedly. I think that game was just about us scoring, if anything, so I don't think Newcastle were all that threatening. Considering we managed to keep them quiet after they scored 5 goals against Villa last week, great, really, really great. But that concludes the video. I ain't really got too much more to ramble about now, and if I do, then it will literally just be rambling and not much talking. So yeah, great game for City. Hopefully it just goes up from here, you know. Hopefully it's 3 points, and another 3 points, and another 3 points, and so on. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today. By the way, I just want to quickly say, 31st of August, which is transfer deadline day, but it's also the day of the Champions League draw. I'm going to be posting tons of content that day, so, you know, if you're interested, there'll be tons of content pumped out that day, I think. I'll try my extreme best to get it done. Because, you know, transfer deadline day is a huge one. I'd like to do a really long stream, if possible, but that will be made easier if you guys are there to support it. And when I say support it, I don't mean liking and subscribing, because even just you viewing is more than enough for me, really. And just saying hello in the chat, you know, it does bring a smile to my face. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this match review. Leave any suggestions you've got in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.